Hi, so good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great week. So, starting with our this week's dev call on 21st Jan 2026. So, as you know about the code of the conduct about Project GitMesh, you have to follow the privacy policy of Linux Foundation as well as the terms of use and other policies as antitrust policy and code of conduct of Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. Also, you know about the weekly dev call we have every week on Wednesdays. You can get the link right from here and the official repository link right here. So, starting with the today's agenda. So, today's agenda is regarding the governance update, the update we made regarding the governance structure and regarding those stuff. Second, we have regarding the milestones, the recent milestones which we were working on, the updates on which milestone we like did what and which part regarding those stuff. And then we have update on the signals tab architecture. Also, we have an update about the LFX mentorship dates and a Q&A and discussion as we have every time. So, starting with a clear differentiation between the community edition and enterprise edition. So, actually, this is necessary for the further work in GitMesh, as we like all as you know that we were like separating the GitMesh community and enterprise edition. So as you can see in the community edition, we will focus mainly on aggregating as much as data we could from different social platforms, and then we would be deduplicate them. Means if there is something similar stuff from different platforms or from the same platform but different users, then we would be merging them and then classifying them under different categories and using them along with the sprints data, which means the issues, milestones, and capacity regarding data for every team, which is considered under the product management team stuff. So we would be doing a two-way sync with Jira, GitHub, and Linear. So today I would be also showing the working version of Gitmesh as like I was working currently on that part only. So I would also show you that. So this was the part of community edition. So majorly the tough part in current community edition would be majorly to focus on the deduplicate and classifying the data, as we would have a huge number of data. Means like you can get thousands of signals from different social platforms. So our main goal would be to deduplicate and classify them under community edition. For the enterprise edition, as you can see in this image, we have a community edition right here, and we have enterprise edition, which means the community edition would be called under as a submodule for the enterprise edition, and we would be having an additional capacity aware layer, which means, as you know, we have collected all the data from the signals tab. So that we collected the data, we deduplicated them and everything, and we process the data to make it a clean data. So using that clean data from signals as well as the product management side, we would use those data and feed it under a recommendation engine, which we would be working under the enterprise edition part, and we would be making a recommendation engine for that part, along with which we will have an agentic chat where you can directly interact with the stuff on signals as well as the dev space tabs directly using the chat part also. Also, it would be capacity aware context layer. We would be also having a context layer, which will be saving the information about the particular company and using it with the recommendation engine to recommend the particular signal which you should follow along with your roadmap constraints. So it would be completely decision rational, means every decision would be explained in the enterprise edition. Also, it would be it would be following an approval workflows, means the human would be asked for the approval in those part. Other than that, we would be also showing the whole role-based controls for different roles of a startup or a company. So this is majorly for post PMF companies. which are like those who have finalized their product market fit, but they don't want to lag behind from the other market, like other market competitors. So for them, we are offering the enterprise edition part. So talking about the milestone part, so as you know, we had four milestones. We had to complete the signals part as well as the dev part subsystem. We have to make them ready. And then miscellaneous issues like the other issues such as governance and docs and other things has to be completed. So we would be also working on that part, and we have to finalize the stabilized version 1 before 9th Feb, as we have on the 13th Feb, we have a session with GitHub. So we have to do, we are already overdue for two of the subsystem. We have almost completed the dev space part. The dev space part is almost completed. The GitHub sync is not perfectly working right now, but it would be done easily. So in this part, only the GitHub dual sync is not working right now. Otherwise, everything is working on this page. For the signals tab, we have like most of the integrations are now working. So if I share the integrations which are right now working, then GitHub is now working. Hacker News is working. LinkedIn is working. HubSpot is working, as well as the Reddit is also working, and Slack is also working. So almost most of the integrations are working. By next week, we would be also covering other integrations and fixing them. Other than that, major work is currently left for the signals part, where we would be also doing the part where we have to deduplicate stuff, normalize the data, as well as use some ML models to clean those data and categorize them. So I would be sharing about that part in the further slides. So as I told, we have the part of signals tab which is currently missing. As you know, we have collected the data. So I would be explaining this architecture of signals today. This is the finalized architecture which we will be following for the signals tab. So we do have different external platforms where we would be integrating them on our platform, including we would be doing GitHub, Reddit, Discord, and multiple stuff. So using that external data, we would feed them in an ingestion layer and a poll workers, which are currently already integrated. So we are now like we have the workers for the fetching the data and storing them and processing those data. So we do have workers for them right now. We are using temporal for continuous retry part, and we are also using some other services for that stuff like Kafka for messaging, Cube.js for like those issue and every part. We also have Unleash for the feature flagging and Nango for some of the integrations like LinkedIn, HubSpot, and Reddit are powered by Nango. Nango is an like if you know about Nango, Nango is like a integration open source platform where you can easily integrate any integration using Nango. So we were doing it. Also for that integration, you have to apply for the LinkedIn and Reddit part. So if you don't have the API key, you should apply it right now so that you will get it by 2 or 3 days. Maybe I haven't got the Reddit one yet, but I have got the LinkedIn one now. So using that, we will be ingesting those stuff. After ingestion, we already have a Postgre database schema ready with migrations already made. So we will be using it along with to normalize for the particular schema. We would normalize the data for the schema and use a cleanup text part. We would be
Hello.
clean like we would make some
Uh,
cleanups based on the role based part.
Hello, Ryan.
Yeah, yeah.
हाँ, I was just saying कि as you said ना कि we can get API key from for Reddit and LinkedIn. So if possible, just share the link if you have it here.
Yeah, I have already, okay, yeah, I have already shared. Actually, I have added those in the ENV files itself, but I would be sh like I would share it in the comment section also right now. Wait a second.
Fine, continue.
Uh,
Okay.
okay. Wait a second. I would share it. So
Yeah.
this is. The LinkedIn's one. I've shared the LinkedIn's API, and this is for Reddit one. This one is for Reddit. And once you get the API key for the Reddit, you can use it under this app portion. As Reddit follows the old architecture, so currently their website for the API part is still old one. So you have to apply first for the request, and then it would be approving after maybe 2 or 3 days. So for that part, you have that stuff. For the HubSpot one, also I had one. This is for the HubSpot one. You can get the HubSpot API right from here. And if you want any information about those stuff, like any of this integration stuff, you can just get it directly from the Nango's website. Actually, we are using Nango for the integration part. So you can directly use Nango's documentation as it do have. So I have shared the Nango's documentation, which is for LinkedIn. You just have to change the name here, so you would get the integrations documentation right from here. Okay, so talking about normalization, we would just normalize them. Then using some of the identity resolution and member identity, we are also storing the contact or username of every data we collect. So we would be using the member's identity to fuzzy match, and we would also store them under a vectors like a vector database, so that vector database of OpenSearch itself, as we are using OpenSearch for the search engine part, we'll be also using it for the vector similarity part. So OpenSearch itself offers some of the vector embeddings, so we can directly use those as we are already using OpenSearch. So other than that, we would be then enriching the context and data. We using OpenSearch. We would be using embeddings, sentiment analysis, and metadata vectors, and also a temporal feature which is provided by OpenSearch itself. You can check it on their website. So like I would just share it also. Open search. Yeah. So mm, platform. Yeah. So you can get the part of OpenSearch one, which are the OpenSearch features which it provides. It consists of machine learning part, search part, observability part, and security analytics part. You can check those part from the link which I have shared in the chat section. So we do have that part. Other than that, then we would be having a temporal feature. As you know about the social market, we generally do gather the data using the time series also, because the older the data gets, more like the newer data gets more relevant in the social platforms. So we'll be also following that part. Then we will be deduplicating the data using deduplication pipeline, which would consist of a min hash LSH algorithm, which is for near duplicacy. Means if there is something nearby duplicate, it would be eliminating that part. Then we would be using a vector clustering HDB scan for that part, and an entity merge which would be done for similar usernames with similar stuff. It's like saying if there is a person with name, like as I will tell about myself, so I would, like for X account, I have my username as roix18.dev, and for GitHub, I have roix18. So it would be even merging those part in this entity merge member part, so that we can get who has commented, like a similar person has commented on two platforms, and also we would get that part. Other than that, we have a classification and extra taxonomy, which means it would then classify the signals under four major portions, which are bug, feature, question, and opinion. So it would be gathering those part, and those stuff where they would just talk about random stuff. It would be ignored from that part. it would be using this part, and then it would be completely based on intent flags, urgency, and product area. It would be having the product's domain, so it would be judging on the product's area. Other than that, we have a signals cluster where like the signals cluster, like the whole cluster of open search which would be using would be under the community edition part, and it would be then aggregating all the data, scoring them, and storing them under an embeddings. So other than that, we would also have two stuff like REST API handoff as well as the MCP handoff, so that the data then can be used by the enterprise edition directly, which would be reading the community edition data and using that data along with the recommendation engine which we are building for the enterprise edition. It would be using the data for the recommendation engine as well as the agentic chat part, also with the particular like the enterprise context part for that particular stuff. So this is the whole structure for the like complete signals part. I do have the stuff ready for this thing. I would also share that part if you want to understand the things in much more detailed manner. I do have that one too. Wait a second, I would just share it. Yeah. So yeah, I do have this part also. You can okay, the complete message is not being shared in the chat section, so I have to just trim the data. I will share the trim data. Wait a second. Mm, it is like I don't think it would be shared. So I can't share that part because I am trying to share it, but because of some reason it is not able to share. So I would share it on Discord. I would share the data on Discord. So I do have the whole stuff written in a text manner so that you can read this cluster part. There is a major need to work on this part right now because there is a lot of work right in this section. Also, there are some of the issues which I have already mentioned on the GitHub page. You can just check it from there. First of all, all the integration should be working. So we still have some of the integrations which are currently not working, like Zapier, Axe. I have like what I thought was like I would open source the some of the other integrations also, so you can just cover that part like Product Hunt and other stuff. So I would be doing that also. So there are some of the integrations which need to be integrated yet. So after that, we can just start with this part, and we do have to complete this part before 13th Feb, as we have with GitHub. So, as I told, currently we have two sections to work on. First is collecting and processing the whole data under a cluster using open search tools, and then finalizing and cleaning the data as two part. One is REST API, and other is using MCP context, like using MCP. Like we would be providing MCPs and REST API so that it can be directly used for the enterprise edition. So for the major part, as I shared, would be for the open search part. This complete part was for the open search part, which we have to do. So one of the stuff which we need is regarding the clusters, which consist of these three parts. And there are some other miscellaneous stuff like the front end is like the front end sucks. Like I know that front end is not yet fully ready. So we need optimizations and cleaning and other cleaning of the code and everything for the part of front end part. So we need someone who is interested to do that part also. Other than that, we need some of the improvements which right now Anubhav is doing, which is in the governance sector. So we need some of the governance algorithm before first Feb. So we also need that part, and also we need documentation ready for GitMesh. At least we need to start the documentation so that people can start contributing during the further project roadmap. Other than that, one good news would be that on 1st Feb 2026, the mentors has to apply for the LFX mentorship part, which means we would be applying GitMesh to be a part of LFX mentorship. Then LFDT's the TAC would be voting on it, and if we get approved, then this project would be under LFX mentorship in the summer. So we will be applying on Fab. So try to keep your try to keep to do more and more contributions so that you can get in for this part. Also, yeah, it would be they would be checking over the governance and whole stuff. So I want that part to be completed before 1st Feb because of this reason. Other than that, two stuff which personally I would just request you for would be to like increase the stars on the GitMesh repo because we are currently growing and still we need some more contributors to work on because currently a major part would be worked by one or two people, so we need some more contributions. So if you start the project and share it with different friends or like wherever you could share, it would be great. Also try to post some of the things about the Gitmesh on socials. It would be great help for the Gitmesh project. And as you know, like where to reach out to the three maintainers. Yeah, one stuff which I wanted to share, like before asking you about some of your doubts, I also wanted to share this part. Yeah, okay. So I have to, I have a thing to show is like you can just see this thing. So right now this is the GitHub's integration. You can see the GitHub integration is now working. The GitHub integration is now working as you can see. So there are three tabs, signals, chat, and DevSpace. The chat part is not in community edition. It is just for the enterprise edition. There are three edition for the enterprise, Pro, Teams Plus, and Enterprise. So it's just under the enterprise edition. So we do have context right here. All the teams context would be shown here. Other than that, there would be organizations shown here. The activities part is regarding any feed or activity. I would just right now add one integration so that you can just see it. So it would take some time. Whenever you integrate, it would take some time to, like, as you can see, the Hacker News is still being integrated. So it would take some time right here. Other than that, in the enterprise edition only, this Sentinel part is under the enterprise edition only. So it would consist of some of the enterprise feature right here. Other than that, all other features are under the community edition. So we have integrations like currently we need someone to work on dev integration. Yeah, on these three integration, like these three integration is are not yet integrated. So we need some of to be working on this part. This is working now. This is also working, and this is also working now. HubSpot and LinkedIn is also working. N10 I haven't checked yet. Twitter also needs some work to be done. Slack and Reddit are working now, and Zapier is not working yet. So we need some of the work to be done on this page. Also, I have added one of the issues like regarding the sentiment score. The sentiment scores are highly random, and like as you can see, the Hacker News integration has started. So you can see the data from Hacker News also. Like just filter from the platform. So this all data is collected from Hacker News regarding the GitHub. I have added the keyword as GitHub, so it would be using. It is showing regarding the GitHub data. Okay, so this part is to be worked on. Also, there is some of the part like sentimental analysis is not working. The engagement score is just showing computing every time. So this stuff need to be improved. Other than that, for the dev space, I would also show how to integrate the part of dev space. On the dev space part, yeah, this refreshing issue need to be solved. For the dev space part, first of the thing which you have to do is to create a project. I would create a project named GitMesh. So as soon as you create the project named GitMesh, you can see a dashboard right here. You can create issues. Currently, which issue is more important, which would be categorized based on the priority you set and the estimated hour you set it. You can just change it directly right from here. Also, by clicking on it, you can add some of the data right here. So these are the stuff which I was working on. This is the backlog part. It is also working right now. Then we do have cycles. Cycles are like sprints where you can add like a New Year sprint right here using the New Year sprint from 1st Jan to 3rd Jan, and it would be created. After it got created, you can then plan the sprint. All the issues which are shown in the issues board would be shown in the backlog part. So just take and drop it. You can see 3 points. The 3 points right here means the work is of 3 hour. So as I told, the work and score, the work hour and the score is directly correlated right here for the first version. In future, we would be adding it. So you can also set some score for the particular sprint. Like people have to just, you can add 40 credits and your target would be to cover 20 credits for this sprint. You can just add it. So you have just added 3 credits out of 20 as it is showing right here. Then just save the plan and you would see the 20 points capacity and then just start the sprint. As you start the sprint and complete the work, as you can see I have completed this work, so it will then get updated one score, but yeah, some bug which should be showing 3 out of 20. So there is some bug right here. So then just complete the sprint. As soon as you complete, it would show the team's velocity right here. This part is not working as the above one showed 0. So the average points is currently 0. Also, one of the feature is regarding the view details. You can just see the details when it was done and everything. Then delete the sprint. After you delete the sprint, there are two options. It won't be permanently deleted right from here. You can check it in the archived chat. Whenever you delete any chat, any sprint, it would be storing here for the 30 days. You can just restore it or delete it forever. Like if I want to delete it forever, you can just write delete and it would be deleted forever. So this works in this way. The capacity page is not is the currently placeholder. It needs to be improved. The spec is currently like the spec is currently physical one. So you have to create spec by writing everything. You can't just use AI right now for this part. If you would add AI in future, you can just add spec using this. So you can see the spec has been updated. There is some issue regarding this part. It just pop-ups the error message, but when you just change the tab, it shows the part there. You can also the team member from here like Roneth at the rate gitmesh.dev. And if I create the team member and then refresh the page, you can say him in the contact. As I told, now his contact has been created. His organization is the name of the workspace, alveoli test, and unknown to unknown means the date of his work. So you can just update it right from here. Also, in the contact section, teams contact, you can see Ronit now. So I can even give some of the stuff and work to Ronit directly from here. Okay, so you can see that part also from the Teams page. From the DevTools page, we have the reports being shown here. So it would consist of the reports, but some of the issues is currently there are some bugs for this page. We will be fixing it. And the last part is regarding the project settings for the dev space part. You can see the project settings from here. You can just change the project details. You can change the name of the project to maybe like just Sarudex maybe. So I have changed the project's name. You can see that project's name has been changed right here. The integration page, as I told, the sync should be done with GitHub. Currently, I'm working on this part also. It would be a dual sync with GitHub and GitMesh. It would be just syncing it. All the conflicts regarding the sync would be shown here, and the rules of the sync is shown here. As currently I am building, so I have shown the rules so that other developers also can see that part. You can see some of the settings like manual admin queue. Whenever there is a conflict, there would be a manual request for the admin to review it. Or you can directly use the GitHub as the default and GitHub wins. Means there is some issue which is with the same key on Gitmesh and GitHub, then it would be using the GitHub one. It's the default one right now. You can just say and check the part from here. I would like just show you by using the. Hmm, I would show you by showing the LF decentralized trust one. So there are some of the issues currently on LF decentralized trust. So I have just added it and I just have to save it. Currently, due to some of the issue in the workers, it does not sync all the issues, but yeah, it does sync many issues. So it would sync some of the issues right here after some minutes. So it would get updated. Other than that, there is an agent settings and the webhooks right here. So this was all which currently has been worked on. So we would be working more on this part. You can just export the CSV also from this, and you can get a mail for that part from here. So this was all regarding the GitMesh part. This is the Nango's integration. As I told, you can just check the Nango's website, and you can get all the integrations right here, and just all the details how to integrate stuff right from here. So this was all from my side. If you have any doubt or like any particular stuff to be asked, you can just ask it right now. Do you guys have any doubt or something?
Right now, I guess no, everything is fine. In the last meet, Parv had discussed about the LS thing, and yeah, cool for now.
Yeah, so this was all. Like I have showed the working prototype also today so that you can easily work on that part. And the schema, I would also share the schema and the prompt of the schema on Discord itself. So you can use it for the development part. I would be also creating the issues right right now. First, the help would be if you could just help with the integration part. So integrating more and more integration would be done. And then we can start working on the normalization and the ML part of the like the clusters part. So that was all from my side. So, so have a great week ahead. And if you have any doubt, you can just tag me on GitHub or Discord or even WhatsApp me directly for the stuff. So thank you for joining and keep contributing.
Thank you, everyone.